Good morning, everyone. It's nice to see you again this morning. It's a wonderful day here in coastal Virginia. It's finally warmed up. You might notice that the lighting effect is a little different today. The way the sun is moved around, I don't get the sun effect that I was getting previously, so I had to add a little bit of light. Hope it's not too bright for you. Well, maybe you'll have to wear shades. Who knows? But let's start today with breathing, getting ourselves centered and focused. So please, as we all know, breathe in, hold, and breathe out. And so let's begin. Breathe in, hold, breathe out. Breathe in through the nose, hold, breathe out through the mouth. All right, let's come on back, see what's happening. So last night on our Zoom Conversations with God study, we came upon a really incredible place on page 90 in the book, and it's where God is talking to Neale Donald Walsch. So the way this whole series goes is that the narrator and the author, Neale Donald Walsch, is asking questions of God, and God is answering Neale's questions through automatic writing and through an intuitive understanding. And so they've got into a place now where God God says to Neale, he says, let's get back because we don't want to lose the thread of something that's very important. Life is a creation, not a discovery. You do not live each day to discover what it holds for you, but to create it. You are creating your reality every minute, probably without knowing it. Here's what here's why, says God, this is so. This is how it works. God says, I have created you in the image and likeness of God, myself. God is the creator. There are three beings in one in you. You can call these three aspects of being anything you want: Father, Son, Holy Ghost, mind, body, spirit, superconscious, conscious, subconscious. Creation is a process that proceeds from these three parts of your body. Put another way, you create at three levels. The tools of creation are thought, word, and deed. All creation begins with a thought, as it says biblically, proceeds from the Father. All creation then moves to the word, again biblically, ask and you shall receive. Speak, and it shall be done unto you. And thirdly, all creation is fulfilled in deed, or as the Bible would say it. And the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us. That which you think of, but thereafter never speak of, creates at one level. That which you think, that which you think and speak of creates at another level. That which you think, speak, and do becomes made manifest in my reality, in your reality. To think, speak, and do something which you do not truly believe is impossible. That's a very important aspect. That which you think of, but thereafter never speak of, to think, speak, and do something which you do not truly believe is impossible. To think, speak, and do something, anything, that you do not truly believe is impossible. Therefore, the process of creation must include belief and knowing. That is absolute faith. This is beyond hoping. This is knowing of a certainty. And as it says in the Bible, by your faith shall ye be healed. Therefore, the doing part of creation always includes knowing. It is a gut level clarity, a total certainty, a complete acceptance as reality of something. 8. This place of knowing is a place of intense and incredible gratitude. It is a thankfulness in advance, and that perhaps is the biggest key to creation, to be grateful before and for the creation. Such taking for granted is not only condoned but encouraged. It is the sure sign of mastery. All masters know in advance that the deed has been done. Celebrate and enjoy all that you have created. To reject any part of it is to reject a part of yourself. Whatever it is that is now presenting itself as part of your creation, own it, claim it, bless it, be thankful for it. Seek not to condemn it, for to condemn it is to condemn yourself. Often we hear ourselves say, well, God damn it, that's not in your best interest. Do not condemn your own creation. And don't call upon your higher consciousness to invade that which you've created. If there is some aspect of creation you find you do not enjoy, bless it and simply change it. Choose again. Call forth a new reality. Think a new thought. Say a new word. Do a new thing. Do this magnificently, and the rest of the world will follow you. Ask it to. Call for it to. Say, I am the life and the way. Follow me. This is how to manifest God's will on earth as it is in heaven. So these guides to the creation of one's own life are incredibly fulfilling and incredibly powerful. But to let go of the always training, the programming that has become present in our lives on a daily basis through what we were taught from birth to whatever day you chose or I choose to take full responsibility for the experience of my life. The whole perception that God is doing something to me is the biggest shortfall that any has come upon. It's really important to know that this reprogramming process requires attention. I spoke to you last week and the week before about a simple process that's known as treatment that I am now working on so it was written in 1950, so I'm looking at it at how to bring it into current language and intend to reproduce it as a little booklet called Reprogramming. And in that little booklet called Reprogramming, we will look at the basic tenets, just as we did in treatment, to changing the way I perceive this life that I live. And it's available to you to do those same things. Because once the practice of reprogramming the perspective under which I experience this reality is in place, the application of the rules and the laws of creation as laid out in Neil's book, Conversation with God, becomes much more practical and much more available. The idea to have the power of your own creation that lives in your thought, your word, and your action is simply and including, is simply and entirely fulfilling. Each of us talk to ourselves, each of us who have came upon this path of seeking, look forward to or practice to become enlightened. The enlightenment is that this world, our God, is not doing anything to me, to us. Our God is manifest in us and through us. In Genesis, it talked about the fact that mankind, humans, were given dominion over this three-dimensional plane. And that is so. We have the power to create. Each of us think about it and know that you are absolutely a creative force and have experienced in your life taking something from a thought to an expression to an action and fulfillment. The more we realize that, the more we acknowledge it, the more we see it, the more real it becomes and the more often it's present. It's a practice. It's a practice. Great basketball players do not become great basketball players by waking up one day and being a great basketball player. They practice. A great archer does not become a great archer by waking up one day and being a great archer. A great archer practices. A great pianist does not wake up one day a great pianist. A great pianist practices and practices and becomes a great pianist with the ability to create. And the same is so for you and I in each and every aspect of our reality, which puts a whole new light on the term or the idea about mundane. If in fact I look around me and realize that everything I see is of my own creation, then the whole concept of mundane simply disappears. When one looks out of their eyes and realizes that everything that's going on, everything they can see, feel, taste, touch, and smell is of their own creation, the concept of boredom disappears. Disappears. And so the practice you are involved in, whether you admit it or not, is, as my friend Mary Lee says, training our mind, training our consciousness. Thought, word, action, deed. I have an idea, that's a thought. I express it out into the universe, which may mean I talk about it, or it may mean that I draw it on a piece of paper and then share it with somebody. And then I create it into the reality. I get out the necessary parts and pieces and do the necessary action to make it real. You are free. I am free. We are free to do that which is ours to do. We live on a free will plane of choice. I can choose to create consciously, or I can choose to create unconsciously. Consciously is a lot more exciting. Consciously is a lot more inviting. I thank you very much for listening to me today. And I hope that what I had to say inspires you. If any of you are interested in joining our our Zoom book study of Conversation with God, please send me a message. Just type a message and send it to me, and I will, with your email address, and we will include you in the communication that announces the meeting every week. It's very fulfilling. And so I'd like to leave you today with a short prayer that comes from our booklet, Treatment. And it is, in fact, the verbal manifestation of the final process in the whole of the treatment activity. And it goes like this. May I so live in the divine spirit that all who contact me shall be healed, that all who contact my thought shall be blessed, and that whosoever has an evil thought against me shall be cleansed, and in that cleansing find their good. I acknowledge you as the presence of God wherever you are. I am grateful that you spend your time with me. Namaste. Namaste. Namaste.